In the deep south of what was then the British Gold Coast, a child was born into colonization yet destined to challenge it. His name was Francis Nwia Kofi Ngonloma, later known to the world as Kwame Nkrumah. Born on September 21, 1909 to a poor but proud family, Nkrumah was raised by his mother after his father passed away early. In missionary schools he was taught religion, discipline, and English. But even as a child he asked, "Why must we bow our heads to those who take from us?" By the 1930s he had become a trained teacher, guiding students in the day and studying at night. But the hunger for knowledge, and for liberation, burned too strong to stay in one place. He left for America, arriving at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania with almost nothing, except books, belief, and a burning purpose. Over the next decade his mind would be shaped by Garveyism, Marxism, pan-Africanism, and the Black freedom struggle. In 1945, Nkrumah attended the 5th Pan-African Congress in Manchester, where he met Webb Du Bois, Amy Ashwood Garvey, and many others. There he helped lay the foundation for a global African awakening. The message was clear: Africa must be free, not someday, but now. When he returned home in 1947, he was ready to lead. The United Gold Coast Convention, or UGCC, invited him to serve as General Secretary, but his urgency clashed with their caution. When Nkrumah broke away and founded the Convention People's Party, the CPP, in 1949, he declared, "Seek ye first the political kingdom, and all else shall be added." He launched a campaign of positive action, mass protests, labor strikes, and civil disobedience. For this, the British jailed him. But behind bars, his legend grew. When elections were finally held in 1951, the people made it clear: Nkrumah won while still in prison. On March 6, 1957, Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to win independence from colonial rule. Tears flowed, drums pounded, flags waved, and Kwame Nkrumah declared to the world, "Ghana's independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa." As Prime Minister and later President, Nkrumah launched one of the most ambitious development agendas Africa had ever seen: free education, expanded infrastructure, women's empowerment, and Pan-African diplomacy. He built the Akosombo Dam, and with it, dreamed of electrifying all of West Africa. He became the chief architect of African unity. He hosted freedom fighters, gave refuge to revolutionaries, and advocated for an African Union with a single army and one currency. His voice was powerful, visionary, and increasingly seen as dangerous by colonial interests. Washington and London were watching closely. Even though Nkrumah was not a communist, his alliances with the USSR and China, and his strong stance against imperialism, really raised alarms. A CIA memo from the early 1960s read, and I quote, "Nkrumah is doing more to undermine our interests than any other black African." As Ghana struggled under debt from its ambitious development projects, Western banks and investors tightened the noose. Aid was cut, loans were frozen, foreign media, started to portray Nkrumah as a dictator, not a liberator. Behind the scenes, United States and British intelligence made contact with disillusioned military officers. The plot was taking shape, not with bullets, but with betrayal. In 1966, Nkrumah left Ghana for Vietnam, hoping to negotiate peace between the United States and North Vietnam. But while he was abroad, Ghana's military, backed by external support, seized power. No gun was fired in his defense. His government was overthrown in a matter of hours. The military declared him a threat to democracy, but in truth, they had removed the one man who had tried to build an Africa free from debt, dependency, and division. Guinea's President Ahmed Sékou Touré made Nkrumah co-president and gave him sanctuary, but Nkrumah would never set foot in Ghana again. After Nkrumah's fall, Ghana opened its doors to foreign banks, multinationals, and Western-backed reformers. Many of Nkrumah's state projects were halted. His dream of economic independence was replaced by dependence on the IMF and World Bank. In exile, Nkrumah kept writing. Neo-colonialism, the last stage of imperialism, was banned by the United States before it was even printed. But his warnings were clear. The new face of colonialism was economic, not military. In 1972, far from home in Bucharest, Nkrumah died of cancer. He was 62, no national funeral, no return, not yet. Today, Ghana honors Kwame Nkrumah as its founding father. His image adorns currency. His legacy is studied in schools. His statue rises again in Accra's Independence Square. Across Africa, his name lives on in those who refuse to be bought, silenced, or divided. In activists, scholars, artists, and everyday people who understand that independence was not the end, but the beginning. At the entrance of the African Union, a statue of Nkrumah stands tall. Beneath it, his words are etched, "Africa must unite." He was overthrown, he was exiled, but his ideas never died because, some dreams are just too bold to be buried.